Hal the Woodmeister here. I'm starting on a new project. It's going to be refinishing this old secretary that's been in my family for years. It belonged to my grandfather. Anyway, I inherited it, and it appears to be solid oak. What the process is going to be is I'm going to disassemble the whole thing, take it all apart, and then strip it down. I'll show you some close-up of what the wood's like. Somehow it managed to get weather damaged. I think my sister might have had something to do with that, but I don't know for sure. Anyway, taking it all apart and stripping it down and then putting a new finish on it will make a beautiful piece of furniture. I'm going to be using a stripper, a clean strip. What you do is you put it on and then you let it sit and you scrape it off, and you got to be very careful when you're using it because it's caustic and it will burn your hands, and it's not very good stuff to be around, but it's a lot easier than trying to sand it down to the finish. Anyway, I'm going to grab the camera and give you some close-up shots of what the thing looks like. You bear with me here a minute. Yeah, the thing's giving me a hard time. There, I got it. Anyway, you could see the finish is pretty weathered. My dad had it refinished at one time, and it looked pretty nice, and you could see that's what it looked like before it got stored at my sister's house, and she claims that it was kept good care of, but I have a feeling it got water damaged. If you look back here, you can see the water run down parts, and I'm going to be removing that top piece and that mirror and that back piece, stripping it all down and refinishing it, and I'll give you a progress report when I get to that point. You can see that this here is well worn, but it has keys and the drawers are kind of sloppy, but it's pretty nice workmanship. You can see it's carved down there. Anyway, over and out from Hal the Woodmeister until... Hi, this is Hal the Woodmeister here. I disassembled this old secretary that I make a video on refinishing, and I don't think I'm going to disassemble it any further than it is. And concentrated, I'm probably going to take those handles off that drawer, concentrate on the really exposed parts of it. It has been refinished in the past, as you can see from a stripe that's along there, and it was refinished without it being disassembled. So anyway, I'm going to get rid of the weathered parts, strip those down, and then decide whether it needs to be taken apart any further. I don't think it's going to. The back of it is in pretty good shape. Here's a view of the underneath part of it. It was built in 1917. It's going to need a new foot on there, but the wood is still fairly solid. There's no signs of rotting or anything on it. There are a few cracks in it which can be repaired. But looking at the various parts of it, it's all in all in pretty good shape. If it wasn't for the weather beating, the interior of it, which doesn't show that much, is in pretty good shape after being redone once before, so I don't want to overdo what's redone on it. That's like that part right there is what needs to be redone the most. And walking around to the other side of it, you can see the top of it up here. You know, where the mirror was attached and all that. That's the part that's really in bad shape. Gotta get that all fixed up. Taking it apart would require removing those plugs, which would really be hard to do. So anyway, that's an update on where I'm at. After it's stripped down, I'll give you another. It's Hal the Woodmeister here. Just thought I'd take a few shots of this thing being stripped down. This old 1918 secretary. I've applied the wood stripper, and I've scraped off part of it. It's going down straight to the oak. You can see up here where I haven't scraped it off, and it's starting to bubble up. And it's a pretty messy job. This stuff's toxic and not much fun to work with. So anyway, I will have to endure. There's the feet of the thing, and the product I'm using is a clean strip wood stripper. You put it on and let it set for about 20 to 30 minutes, and then you take it off and clean up the mess afterwards. Hal the Woodmeister here again, showing you more progress on this. I've stripped down these parts of it anyway, and it seems to be coming down pretty good. I got a lot of stuff coming off this thing. I think it has 3 or 4 coats of old coatings that were put on it over the centuries, or decades anyway, not centuries. It's about a century old. But you can see that it's nice oak wood, 100-year-old oak wood, and coming down quite nicely. So, not to bore you with the details, but it's quite messy, and I'm about ready to go to lunch. I'm tired of messing with this thing for now, so over and out from Hal the Woodmeister here. It's Hal the Woodmeister here, just taking some more shots of the stripping operation. These are the pieces that were taken off of the secretary that I'm working on. As you can see, the stuff is bubbling up and coming off just fine. I'm going to be using some denatured alcohol to finish removing the residual that's left on after the stripping operation that was done on this, and also using some scrapers to finish it off. Just another update. Hope you're all having a great. We're still working on this old secretary here, and I'm now a step where I'm taking the old finish off. Just wanted to give you a few shots of what it's like. It kind of a goopy mess, but that's what it comes off like. And after the stripper is dissolved the old finish, it turns into a rubbery like goop, and what I do is just scrape it off with a putty knife, wiping it on a little piece of newspaper. Sure you do this in a well ventilated shop. Yeah, the fumes are, yeah, I don't think they'll hurt you, but it's not a good idea to breathe an overwhelming quantity of this stuff. Kind of like maybe sniffing glue or something. But anyway, after I scrape this stuff off, you take an old rag and wipe it down. As you can see, it's coming pretty clean. A lot cleaner than it used to be. And then as a final step to finish cleaning this stuff off, I take that's the wrong can there. You can use either denatured alcohol, or in this case I didn't have any of that around, so I'm using lacquer thinner. If you take this stuff in another old rag and dampen it up, it'll take the residual off. Yeah, you can see that. I don't know if you can see it or not. I can't see what the camera's doing. These are self-made videos, so I don't happen to have a production staff around to help me make these things. But I have fun doing it, so I hope you enjoy seeing how you can redo an old piece of furniture. And you can see it's coming pretty clean. Yep, there's another update for you.